What's up everybody, Rogue here again, bringing you yet another tip video, but this one is going to be a little different than your usual. By that I mean it's going to be talking about a more broad idea in competitive TF2, and for that reason I have a feeling that this video is going to be a little longer than usual as well. It is going to be about general attacking and defending in TF2 with Ubers. This is probably going to be the most helpful video I have done in terms of TF2 basics for new or inexperienced players. So the examples in this video are going to be fairly general. These videos are aimed at new players after all. So as you may know, almost all pushes in defending situations rely completely on who has Uber and who doesn't. The examples I will be talking about today are situations where 1. Your team has Uber advantage and both teams have all players alive. 2. Your team is at an Uber disadvantage but both teams have all players alive. And 3. Both teams have Uber and the same amount of players. Now you might be thinking why I'm only going over these 3 basic situations, but like I said before, this is a very general guide for inexperienced players. All of the examples I will be showing are from a match my Sixes team was in on CP Sunshine last week. So here's my first example with first my team having Uber advantage. Okay, so here's the first situation where we have Uber advantage. Now the enemy team kind of just wasted their Uber for no reason. But that leaves us with 100% Uber and the enemy medic 1% Uber. So really all we have to do is pop into them and make sure we kill their medic. The reason being, we have Uber, which gives us invulnerability, and it's really hard to fight an invulnerable player. So there's really nothing else to say about that. I'm going to show you our team is just going to pop right into them and kill them fairly easily. So let me press play and show you guys what happens. So they popped and here's me and my medic. We're going in. They're way overextended, and as you can see we're just going to pop Uber and jump into them, and that was it. We killed them. They are 1 player up and he's gonna die. So we completely wiped them because they were overextended, and because we wiped them, that pretty much gives us a free pass to go to second and start working on last. So I think they actually get back capped here in a second because they were not watching point properly and they were kind of unprepared because they got wiped. So not the best strategy for them, but we'll wait for it here. As you can see, my team is kind of building Uber. And I think one of our scouts just runs on the last because their enemy team's all in lobby. So let me just watch last. I know what's going to happen here. Here comes our scout, Trackmer, and he's just going to run on the point. They weren't watching and they were 2 players up there. So that's what happens when you have a major Uber advantage. The enemy team has the chance to get wiped, and once they get wiped, they're pretty much giving up second and really worrying about what's going to happen to last. So there really isn't any reason why you wouldn't really just pop into them if they don't have Uber, and as long as you kill their medic and kill enough players, it was worth it. So make sure you don't mess up the Uber, otherwise it's just a waste and you used it wrong. So that was me with Uber, or my team with Uber advantage. Now we can move on to the next example with our team at Uber disadvantage, but both players have the same amount. Both teams have the same amount of players alive. So here we go. Okay, now here's the next example with our team at a full Uber disadvantage, the most extreme case of it. The enemy team has Uber and we only have 14%. So what we're going to do is, instead of holding a standard hold on mid, we're going to get into a passive hold, which puts our medic into cafe at the lower left corner here, where he is completely safe and the important players can get out if they need to very quickly. So if the reason why we're not holding a standard hold at mid is because, just like the last example, they're gonna pop into us and they could have the chance to wipe us. So I'm gonna play it here, and you're gonna see us get into a fairly passive hold here. We're trying to build Uber, but they pop. Yes, they just popped. So we're gonna escape as quickly as possible, and we're gonna get way out because they're gonna get aggressive because they just popped and killed only our roamer. So that was kind of the benefit of it. Oh, our demo might die. No. Okay, so there you go. That was the benefit of doing a passive hold when they have Uber. Another thing you could do is just send your roamer in to bomb the medic to get him to force pop, but we'll get into that one for the next example. Now, as you can see here, because we got out safely, we have Uber advantage, so we're just going to pop into them because they are all standing right here in choke. So I just jump into them. Me and our roamer sink our rockets to get a 3K, and now the only player left alive is their scout. So they really messed that one up, and I mean, there you go. That's the benefit of passive hold for Uber disadvantage. So our next example is going to be, let me pause this real fast. Our next example is going to be, shoot, I can't think of it. Okay, even Uber advantage. So what that means is both teams have full Uber and it's the same amount of players. So let's go to that one. Okay, so as you can see at the top left, both teams have around 60-something% Uber. Our team has 64, they have 68. So Ubers will be even later on in this example. But what we're going to do is, because we want to avoid Uber v Uber fights, just to get the risk out of the equation, we're going to send in our roamer right here, Cripple, to try and bomb their medic to get him to force pop, or kill him, hopefully, would be the best thing. So I'm going to go ahead and play this right here. And Ubers are at like 70 something, and we send him in at around 90% Uber for them, 85. Okay, so here he's gonna go in. He's checking it out and make sure it's safe, and no one is over here. No one is watching their flank because their scout just died on the flank. So he's gonna jump in. Not the best jump, but he gets a 6 surf and kills their medic. So we immediately just pop in because they are all standing here. Just easy targets, really. So we get the demo, get the soldier, we get this scout because he was overextended. So now they have one player left, and he is over here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go straight to last and cap them because they didn't have enough players up. Okay, so let me pause it right here. So in that example, we saw both teams with the same percentage of Uber. And what we did there was we got their medic to pop first so that we could go in and just kill their team easily. So that is what you want to try and do. That's the ideal situation for Uber when Ubers are at equal percentage. Now, like I said, in all of these examples, these are very general. These are just a general thing to look at, some general rules. These are not for your fairly experienced player because, as always, there's going to be some situation like, let's say you have Uber advantage but you only have 3 players and they have 6 players. I mean, that could still work, but it totally depends on how many players you have up, your positioning. I didn't even go over Ubers on last, so that's a whole nother thing. But what I went over was just the most basic situations that I could for players that are just struggling on how to use Ubers, because the team that we played in this example, they had issues with their Uber, so I volunteered to help them, and I'm trying to do demo reviews with them and help them out with their Ubers and their just everything. So that was both teams with equal Uber, and I guess I'm going to go to the outro. Alright guys, that wraps up this video. Now, like I said a million times in this video, this is very basic for new players. So if you're an experienced player and you're looking to dislike a YouTube video, you've been warned right here. This is for basic players. I've got that out. So That's really all I got for you guys. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, if you are that new player actually looking to get better at TF2 instead of discourage players, you can ask me a question. You can look at more resources on YouTube. There's plenty of resources to try and get good at this game. So that wraps up the video. Thanks for watching, everyone, and subscribe for more videos like this one.